Hello guys. There are this second stream from English and Kupchino speaking club, and today they are going to discuss new movie discussion. Here with you, Slava and
Paulina. Hello.
Yeah, I'm Paulina and he's Slava. So the topic is Avatar. The first one, original, from 2009, and the second one and other what is going to be here. So let's start discussion with the first movie. They can speak a little about the director. So
yeah, just the good thing is to start speaking about movies, discuss the people who created that. Do you know who is the director of the movie about the Avatar?
Actually, could you tell me who he was and why he's so popular?
Yeah, of course. Just I think this name is very popular. James Cameron is a filmmaker and producer, scriptwriter, so one of the well-known director in the Hollywood.
Yeah, as I can know, he's a Canadian and he's quite interesting person. So he's a deep sea explorer and create lots of movies like Terminator, Titanic, Aliens, and the main thing what is interesting about him, what he's the most successful movie maker in the whole history. What does it mean? Success in the movie producing. So
what do you mean? What makes movies so successful?
Yes.
So I think nowadays the people would say that if the box office was successful, like if a movie earned lots of money, so this is a successful movie. And speaking about box office, Avatar is the very successful. This is the first movie that earned more than 2 billion of US dollars. So can you imagine how many is 2 billion of US dollars?
It sounds like 1,000 of millions.
Yeah, we actually checked that it's like 1 and 9 zeros at the end, so such a huge number of.
As I read in Wikipedia, it's more than 2.8 billions of US dollars. But
yeah, it's like worldwide. Yeah,
it's close to rupee. So, but only box office success make this movie so great. What else can they say about why this movie is so special? What do they like? Why do they think it's consider this movie as a successful one?
I'd say that there are people who tend to follow Oscar awards, and Avatar is also great in this nomination. So the movie won 3 Oscars: Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, and Best Visual Effects, of course.
Yeah, that's, I think, a lot of rewards for one movie. But if they're speaking about the visual effects, why do you think they won that?
So visual effects is very important for Avatar, so all that stuff. But from that perspective, Cameron said that they use all new technologies to create 3D cameras to create this stunning picture, and so this nomination was kind of expected, I would say.
Yeah, they produced such a new thing like 3D, IMAX 3D movie, would even pushed lots of movie theater to convert their usually equipment in a digital format. It's cost lots of money just to show one movie in a movie theater. So that's definitely was an unusual movie.
But as for you, do you think that visual effects are important for the movie? And do you like it?
Of course I do, but I like the one idea what was developed and performed in that movie. But humans can transfer the one conscience in a like memories, feelings, and behavior in the different body. That's interesting idea, and I really like it.
This is not about visual effects. This is a kind of general concept.
General concept, of course. I didn't understand what you are going to discuss the visual effects. So let's continue to discuss visual effects. And could you say me what was used to do such a new and stunning effects?
I'm not a director and not a kind of good at this CGA stuff and so on. But
CGA? CGI?
yeah, don't you know that it's like stands for computer generated imagery? So that all that stuff that they use computer for, so create images, video games, films, everything that you can see in new Marvel movies, all that 3D computer graphics, explosions and all that stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like they produced some kind of combination about the imagined things, like it was a 60% of photorealistic CGI and only 40% of live action. That's definitely something what they are going to ask Mr. James. Why do they use such a thing? Could you show us?
Yeah, we just have a short episode from James Cameron that explains details about all that computer stuff. So let's try to watch that.
We tried to, in a way, we got the best animators in the world to take all this data that was coming out of our performance captures, and then we limited their options to things that were value added, like the ears and the tails. Because obviously the actors couldn't perform their animal-like ear movements and their animal-like tail movements while they were acting. So they took a human performance with no diminishment whatsoever, and then added to it. So when people ask me, sort of what percentage of the actor's performance came through in the final character, I say 110%, because you actually had an increase in the sense of whatever the emotionality of the moment was. If somebody felt bad, their ears were kind of submissive like a dog's. If they were angry, their tail would lash back and forth like an angry lion,
This idea of the uncanny valley.
So as you could hear, this is not only about CGA. This is some parts of body like tail that is not presented in real, but actors should
Could
be.
Could you imagine what you have a tail?
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask someone who wear the costume.
So can we just revise a little bit about the technologies and the cameras that he used?
So as I understood what he's saying, what they use some kind of dots what was connected to the face and allow the motion capture software to just to recognize, to record the emotions and expression and produce some kind of a visual part of the movie what was real but not as colorful as you can see in a movie.
Yeah, just visual effects are great. I think this is one of the biggest advantages for the movie. But we enjoy watching movies not only because of the picture, but also some people, and me especially, enjoy, watching or not watching, like speaking about the plot, about the story, about the script that was used. So.
Do you like the story what I told in that movie?
So particularly as for me, I tend to think I enjoy. Yeah, I liked, but maybe there are some drawbacks. But
yeah, actually, after the movie was shown, there are lots of jokes and just memes, what discussed with this movie is quite close to the one story, what is quite basic and historical. And as they can see, that's Avatar is the same as a Pocahontas story. Even the main character name was Jake Sully. In a Pocahontas it was John Smith. It's very similar. So
do you think that there were lots of stolen ideas and cliches?
yeah, this movie was definitely cliched and predictable, but what does it mean cliche?
To usually say it without thinking, I'd say that cliche is a kind of bad stereotype, and we would use this term to highlight that the idea was stolen, or the plot, or the plot was predictable, especially about the movie. So,
Like joked what they heard lots of time.
yeah, like a stupid jokes, or that bad guys are bad guys and good guys are good one, or just should be kind of love story inside of the movie. Cheesy dialogues.
Speaking about a love story, actually in that movie the story about the love was the same. An Aboriginal native girl was in love with a military guy. Yeah. Do you think that James Reilly watched a few times Pocahontas before he wrote the script?
I didn't think that he just had some time to do that. Still, he just probably was not. He even wasn't young when that Pocahontas was released. I just think that he just, as he's saying, he just redeveloped, or just got something that he had during that time and created something new. So like a kind of rethinking. But at the same time, we could see that James Cameron used this story, or story of Native American Indians and Aborigines, and just turned them into blue. So kind of modern story of the old stuff.
And have you heard about the time when he actually wrote the script? It was in 1995. Why didn't he just did the movie at that time when he wrote?
I guess the main point that he didn't have enough technologies, maybe enough money, maybe enough other stuff. Kind of, he wasn't so famous. Maybe he was very famous after Terminator and True Lies, but still Titanic was very successful in 1997, and then probably after that he was.
But actually, you're wrong.
Why?
He wrote the script, but he couldn't produce the movie at that time he wrote the script because the technology wasn't so developed. So that's interesting. He delayed the producing the movie for over 10 years. So, I love that movie, but why do we love it? Lots of people found it very interesting and went to the movie theater to watch it. So, what's special about that?
Well, I can say that most of the thing I enjoy to watch, but I would like to focus on some disadvantages. Some of the people can say that the movie is overrated. So, like a famous director, a few famous actors, lots of money for production. So it should be a success, right? So maybe overrated, overpriced a little bit, right? About the characters, we can say that we haven't seen convincing character development. So this bad guy, Colonel, right? He was a bad guy from the beginning. We knew that probably it would be the kind of at the end he had to fight with the Jake Sully, right? His name, with the antagonist and protagonist. So that was so predictable. Cheesy dialects maybe also. So they're not so very deep, and they just like dialects are just a short, I don't know, species between another beautiful like a landscape scene. So
Yeah, some of the dialogues was even in a Navy language, so you wouldn't keep up and translate it for yourself because this language was specially created for the movie. But actually, I think that's not so bad as you can think right now. I love one great actor. Actually, it's my favorite actor, Sigourney Weaver, and she performed so great in that movie. Even he wasn't the main character, but he lighted up all the movie.
yeah, right. So yeah, I was just actually surprised that Cameron had to kill her because she survived so many bad things like in Aliens, in all of those Aliens franchise, right? But in this movie she has to die.
Yeah, it was the pitiest moment in the whole movie.
So are we ready to discuss new movies
New movies?
that is going to come? Yeah, we just
Are there lots of them?
to begin with, we have a great picture. I don't know how to say it in English.
It's not an English guy, so just some kind of a creature what is waiting for a long time.
Yeah, like a waiter, but not the one that serves you in a cafe, but someone that is waiting for something.
Just I think this image just very well describe my feeling about the second Avatar, what I'm waiting for so long since I heard that there is going to be the second part. But actually, the producing of the second part was delayed so many times, so now they are going to watch it in December of 2020. So, and actually, as I can guess, there is a few other episodes that's going to be soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's check the what was Mr. Cameron going to say about that.
Yeah, we just have a short interview. Unfortunately, James Cameron was not able to speak it for us, but we use powerful technologies probably was used by him during that day, but I just need some time to get it. Just a sec, please.
Yeah, maybe he would explain why they are waiting so long. So
Yeah, we're about to start.
I wouldn't call them delays. It was highly optimistic that we could start quickly until scripts are written. If there's no scripts, there's nothing, right? We weren't wasting time, we were putting it into tech development and design. So when all the scripts were approved, everything was designed. Every character, every creature, every setting. In a funny way it was to the benefit of the film because the design team had more time to work. Most of the actors, the key principals, have all read all 4 scripts, so they know exactly what their character arcs are, they know where they're going, they know how to modulate their arc now across the first 2 films. Let's face it, if Avatar 2 and 3 don't make enough money, there's not going to be a 4 and 5.
So unfortunately, as you could hear, everything is about money, so...
yeah, I ask you, if you loved the first Avatar, go to the movie theater in 2020 and watched it. It's going to be breathtaking. So they have to prove what we love Avatar. And
But just speaking about those delays, do you really believe that he couldn't find the scriptwriter and that was the reason for delay? I think this is a good excuse, not more. That's just...
he told us that he wrote the script for 4 next movies, so they already wrote the script. What? It's like Harry Potter. You are going to expect new book even if he's dead.
Yeah, just speaking about all that things that are already in production now, so probably they have started to shoot Avatar 2 and the first part. But do we know anything about the plot for future releases?
Unfortunately, I can only guess a few moments, but maybe there's something fascinating about it. So let's watch some video that could explain something.
Actually, this is an audio from some of the conference when James shared his ideas about the second part. So let's listen to this.
We are going to be seeing the oceans of Pandora and the life forms, the ecosystems there. So we've got to do more with CG water, both underwater with the caustics and the lighting, the optics of bringing light through water, and with the surface of water, which is one of the big challenges in CG. But it's all doable. Those are just plugins. That's all. That's all an iterative process. The only sweeping change between now and when we release the second Avatar film is I want to natively author the film at a higher frame rate and project it at a higher frame rate. I want to get rid of the motion artifacting associated with 24 frame display.
Really?
Because movies are way behind. They're a century out of date.
You'll do it at 48 or something?
48, 60, 72. We're looking at the efficacy of the different ones and different solutions.
Another
for that.
incredible invention if you pull it off.
Well, the projectors can do it right now.
Oh,
the projectors can run at 144 hertz, but they're not displaying. But they're still displaying 24 frame content at 144 hertz. The trick is how do you display 48 or 60 frame content? Multi-flashing it the way the 3D projectors do. So that's one little bump that I'm going to be working on. And then there's some software development that we're doing to make the process our kind of real-time virtual production process more intuitive, faster. More real looking, more like the finished product. Right now we work in a proxy resolution. We create a kind of a 1980s video game looking end product. Then we give it to the visual effects company. They start over mapping all new high resolution assets to those low res assets. They start all over and do it all again, and they come out with a photoreal end product. What we want to do is eliminate that middle step and start to close the gap between what our real time looks like and what the finished photoreal looks like. I mean, eventually, 15 years from now, we should be working in real time in a photoreal image, almost like you do with photography. So it's getting to the.
Oh, thank you, James. That was great. Lots of things to discuss actually. So, what have you heard?
I'm excited to see the ocean in 3D. I think I love videos about the ocean, but you can never feel what yours underwater. And so if Mr. James Cameron is going to show us underwater pictures, so it's definitely worth to see it.
What do you think about Mariana Trench? This is like the deepest place in the ocean, like more than 11 kilometers.
I think I would be scared to death to do the things what he's did, but he's always very creative and very, I think, good at developing stories and pictures. So I think that was necessary for him to do
but by the
things.
way, he visited this deep place 5 or 10 years ago. I think that when he mentioned this like a place, Mariana Trench, this is kind of like a promotion maybe. Of course, he wouldn't be, shoot actors there. I hope so, right? But just saying that they will use it like a movie release or some kind of features from that place, of course, this is like noticeable. So, what about the frame rate? Have you seen any movies in a higher frame rate than 24 frames per second?
Yeah, I tried, but that movie wasn't originally shooted this high frame rate. They're remodeling or reproduced, so it was not natural. But as I can use my own cell phone and create such high frame rate video, but I like it. I like it. It's more vivid. It's more,
Colorful and bright, actually.
yeah, that's something to worth to use it. So
So as for other speculations, we have a great picture, I think, that will explain more details that we are going to discuss. So probably because of
the cutest blue baby,
yeah, like we have seen the new family was established in the first movie, and we believe that there will be babies, like at least one or maybe a few of them.
Yeah, as they can see, there is a belly button, so this baby was born, not just came from the space or something else. And do you think one baby would be enough for the family?
I don't know, maybe we will see more than one, but even knowing that we will see one baby, and we had those two characters like mom and dad, in knowing that the previous ideas were stolen from different movies, maybe we'll see another kind of sequel of the classic Disney movies, or classic Disney cartoon, like Lion King.
Yeah. Would they expect the picture when this baby was shown to the Pandora Bride?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we will see. Yeah, I don't know. It's of course Cameron has all those ideas. I hope that he would rethink them and present them in another different way. I hope so, but we'll see. So, any other ideas? Any other speculations that we know about the future movie about actors?
Yeah, I've actually read lots of gossips about the future Avatar, and I know that there is more than 7 young actors was assigned to be actors in a Avatar, and they are really young. It's 7 kids, so I hope we would see lots of great new faces in the future avatars.
So, what about those people who died in the first movie?
Yeah, Dr. Grace, unfortunately, the hero of Sigourney Weaver, died, but I heard her interview about the future avatar. Somehow he would be alive. I hope this soul tree could save her and give us a new performing in the future avatar, second or third maybe.
Yeah, as for the Doctor, we at least had a kind of way to resurrect her, right? But I was really surprised that that the antagonist is this colonel that was played by Stephen Lang would also return.
But he would kill to death. No,
Yeah, just
any tree could save him.
That was quite obvious that his character was dead, but I think in future
How would the story can bring him alive?
just in future they would have so great technologies that they can resurrect him. They just can use his DNA basically and create another clone, or maybe a few of them, right? Or the army of clones. So this is quite kind of easy stuff for the future development.
Yeah, it looks like it could be possible. If you watched the first Avatar, very interested and was, you can notice that there was some clone in the beginning of movie. So definitely the story could mention some DNA production. So the bad guys is going to be back.
Yeah, I think I like his performance, and he was quite convincing. Not very kind of deep character maybe, but his sense of humor when he drank coffee before the attack in this like a vessel, so that was quite exciting. Just
Yeah, if the rank of a movie would allow some cigarette, he would also have one.
like a cigar, probably he
cigar.
smoked, no? Didn't he?
No, he didn't. So, James Cameron told lots of stuff. What he loves to show us new faces and new, not as famous actors, but maybe he would, as he used Sigourney Weaver and Stephen Lang more and more. So maybe some other faces what he worked before. They can see from his other movies what was here.
I don't know. I cannot predict the future, but I heard that Kate Winslet, the star from Titanic.
Really?
I don't know. This is all of that stuff is rumors we would see actually in the movie, but Kate Winslet joined the cast of Avatar 2. So possibly we would see her in the
That's
second part,
great.
or maybe in the future releases.
I would definitely look forward to see her performance.
Just continue speaking about the future releases. There are not so many things that we know for today, but what do you expect to see in sequels? Like, what did you like in the first movie that you would like to see the next one?
Actually, I tried to speculate about the future story, but actually I came up only for two just simple questions. I'm interested in what's going on the Earth in the future. Why do these people come to the other planet for some resources? Maybe something wrong with Earth? And the second question is what I came up also about the humans, what was mining in the Pandora. Do we want to return and mine again, or they just gave up such unexpected the stone? It's Anbaterium or something else?
Yeah, that's quite weird name, but as we know, this name is quite popular in science fiction. So
science
kind
fiction.
of mineral or that has very
Actually, I heard that this arbitrarium translated like some imaginable thing. Yeah, that's interesting what they're going to mine for it.
About the future release, the movie, the first one that came out in 2009 was so great. I think we haven't had anything that was the same quality as for visual effects. All those Marvel movies are great, but they are not at the same level as Avatar. But future release should be as thrilled as even more thrilled and even more exciting than the first movie. So we have a short discussion from James Cameron about things that he might use or is thinking that would be important in future movies and future release, not only for Avatar but also about other movies. So let's listen to this short episode again.
Houses or movies going to look like 15 years from now?
I think, the interesting thing is I think we've been on this steady slope of progress, and I think it's starting to plateau out, meaning we're actually getting to the point where we can already almost do everything we need to do. And the last holy grail thing to do was human, accurate, photoreal, emotionally correct performance capture. We can do it now. We probably could have done humans easier than Na'vi, because human skin is easier to light. It looks more familiar to us, the way it takes the light. We had to come up with a whole different color scheme in order to be able to light the Na'vi. We filled them with green light. You would never do that with a human face, because we needed a color difference between the key and the fill side. So we had to come up with a whole different color scheme to even light blue skin. Lighting blue skin is difficult. Lighting human skin, we know how to do. We've been doing it for 100 years, So I actually think we could do humans easier than Na'vi at this point. and with absolute photoreality that you couldn't tell from the real thing. The question is, why would you do that? You don't gain much by doing it. It's expensive. And if you have an actor, just shoot the actor, unless there's something very specific that you want to do, like have an actor, much younger than they really are, or much older than they really are, or some other sort of transformative thing that would normally be done by makeup. But young makeup doesn't work. You can do old makeup, but you can't. Young makeup is tricky. You can make somebody maybe 10 years younger if you're really careful about it and you don't punch in too tight, or you can make them 50 years older, or 80 years older. You know what I mean? But it tends not to work the other way. So let's say I use this example. I think it's apt. I've never talked to Clint Eastwood about this. I don't even know him. But if he wanted to play Dirty Harry, just as an example, how cool would that be to see another Dirty Harry movie? Just a straight up Dirty Harry movie. Just shooting the bad guys, just like he did it in 1975 or whatever it was. He could do it, and it would be him. It would be legitimate. He'd be driving it. But bringing Marilyn Monroe back from the dead, I think, is wrong. I think that's not how it should be used. But you're
Okay, thank you, James, for attending our meeting. That was brilliant.
Lots of explanation, but as I understood, he's saying with these visual effects are still so expensive, but even now they spread widely in a movie production, but it's still cheaper to use their real actors with huge salaries than just produced something imaginable.
Yeah, I think just for the main characters like Sigourney Weaver or the lady who what's her name, Neytiri, that was played by Zoe Saldana, right? Their faces, their emotions are quite they natural, and to create something like this from the scratch would be very difficult. That's why for such actors probably they would use real people. But for other stuff like all that kind of change the age of the person, make him younger, probably modern technologies would be used widely just in all that movies. So about other things that he said about motion capture and technologies that he's going to use. Any other details?
It's interesting what now technology is so developed, so you can produce them and watch the picture on your system like in real time. It's fascinating. So Mr. Cameron already can change their whole story and movie just in a moment. So that's fascinating. But I heard now I think what's going to thrill us up, what they actually can watch 3D movie like Avatar in the future without glasses.
That would be like a real picture, like real world.
Yeah, maybe they can feel it from somehow. And I'm actually looking forward that so badly because it's bring me very happy, I think, because I always have a headache when I see 3D movies with glasses. Yeah, it's something what lots of people appreciate.
Mm-hmm. So just to sum up, I think with the future Avatar movie or movies is must-see thing, and we can't wait to to see that in the movie theaters. But at the same time, we also noticed that Cameron is working with other directors to produce, I think, very important movie, and this like a picture quality sense. It is called Battle Angel Alita, and it's going to be released in 2009. I think in beginning of 2019.
Yeah, that's very soon. if they compare with
Yeah.
Avatar second.
Yeah, there's a great trailer in YouTube, and you can see that the main character, this Aelita probably, also was kind of generated by computer. Her face with huge big eyes.
Her face is so pretty with these huge cosmic eyes. Yeah, something worth to watch.
Okay, yeah. In just at the end, we have a few final questions that I don't know. Should we answer them?
I hope our guests and can answer them. I would very glad if you find the time and type them your answers in the comments, so I would check them and discuss them later. Please answer 2 questions. The first one is: do you think Avatar is the next Star Wars, or maybe Lord of the Rings, or it would be not so great as sequels, and we compare it with Matrix?
So Matrix is a great movie, right? No doubt, but this is not kind of
Not the sequels.
epic, not epic like Star Wars. I wouldn't say Lord of the Rings is so epic as Star Wars. Nothing is so epic as Star Wars, you know.
Yeah, it seems so.
But at the same time, Cameron, with those like a few releases, step by step, he's trying to create his own universe, right? Like Star Wars, but he's like a Pandora and all that stuff. So, what do you think about this? Would it be as popular as Star Wars, for example?
First of all, I would like to watch what our guest is going to come up. So, and the second questions for you guys. Speaking about the movie success, can you remember a movie that haven't had a big box office, however, still so popular and considered to be as a cult movie? So, try to guess something and remember something and give us an answer in a comment.
Oh yeah, just that was quite pleasant and fun to have this discussion. I hope that we will publish all questions in this video in our English and Kupchino.club
I think
website.
some vocabulary would be useful too. So
Oh yeah. So we have lots of preparation, and probably we will post it on our website or in VK community.
don't forget to check our website. All the questions and interesting ideas and even some unusual and
Oh really?
fascinating facts what I found out in the internet would be posted there. So check our website.
Okay, that was movie discussion Avatar from English and Kupchino Speaking Club.
Thank you guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.